She was just getting started. At 16, she made her film debut in one of the biggest movies of the year. At 19, she had already changed Hollywood forever. She broke barriers. She inspired millions. She showed the world that deaf actors deserve a place on the biggest stage. And then, on the 18th of July 2026, she was gone. Kaylee Hottle, the young deaf actress who stole hearts in Godzilla vs. Kong, died at just 19 years old. But how did a teenager from Georgia become a trailblazer for deaf representation? And what happened to her? This is the story of Kaylee Hottle. Who was Kaylee Hottle? Kaylee Hottle was born on the 11th of June 2007 in Georgia, USA. She was born into a deaf family, and American Sign Language, ASL, was her first language. Her grandparents and other extended family members were also deaf, including her grandfather, who was a sign language interpreter. She grew up in a loving family that supported her dreams and encouraged her to pursue her passions. In 2020, at just 13 years old, she was cast in Godzilla vs. Kong, her film debut. She was chosen for the role of Gia, a young deaf girl who communicates with Kong through sign language. Adam Wingard, the film's director, said, "It was very important to us that the character of Gia is deaf, and Kaylee was the perfect person to play her. Her performance in the film was praised for its authenticity and emotional depth." Godzilla vs. Kong. Kaylee Hottle's role in Godzilla vs. Kong was a career-defining moment. She played Gia, a young deaf girl who shares a special bond with Kong. Her character is the only one who can communicate with the giant ape. Her performance was praised by critics and audiences alike. She brought authenticity and emotional depth to the role. The film was a massive box office success, earning over $470 million worldwide. Kaylee received international recognition for her performance. She appeared alongside Hollywood heavyweights like Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, and Rebecca Hall. She said in an interview, "I was so nervous on my first day of filming, but everyone was so kind and supportive. I felt like I belonged." Her performance paved the way for more deaf representation in Hollywood. Breaking barriers for deaf representation, Kaylee Hottle was more than an actress. She was a trailblazer. She was one of the few deaf actors to appear in a major Hollywood blockbuster. Her role in Godzilla vs. Kong was a landmark moment for deaf representation. She often spoke about the importance of authentic deaf representation in film and television. She said, "It's important that deaf people are played by deaf actors. It makes the story more real." She was a role model for young deaf children around the world. She showed them that they could achieve their dreams, no matter the obstacles. She also advocated for better accessibility in the entertainment industry. She believed that deaf actors deserved the same opportunities as hearing actors. Her work in the film industry inspired a generation of young deaf performers. She was also involved in the deaf community, participating in events and supporting organizations that empowered deaf people. Cause of death. Let me address the question at the top. What happened to Kaylee Hottle? Kaylee Hottle died on the 18th of July 2026. She was 19 years old. As of this recording, no official cause of death has been publicly released. Her family confirmed her passing, but has not disclosed any details about the circumstances. Her death came as a shock to everyone who knew her. She was young, talented, and had a bright future ahead of her. The family has asked for privacy as they grieve this devastating loss. Family, a loving support system. Kaylee Hottle was a devoted daughter, granddaughter, and niece. She was very close to her family, who were with her every step of her journey to Hollywood. Her mother and grandmother were her biggest supporters. They accompanied her to auditions and premieres. She often spoke about her family in interviews, saying, "I wouldn't be where I am today without them. They believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Her grandfather was a sign language interpreter and inspired her to embrace her identity as a deaf person. Her family has been devastated by her sudden passing. They have asked for privacy as they navigate this difficult time. A family member wrote, "She was the light of our lives. We will never forget her." Personal life. Kaylee Hottle kept much of her personal life private. She was a teenager who loved spending time with her family and friends. She was also passionate about her advocacy work. She was a student, balancing her education with her acting career. She was also active on social media, where she shared glimpses of her life with her fans. Her followers were drawn to her authenticity and positivity. She used her platform to raise awareness about deaf culture and the importance of representation in media. She was also a lover of animals, especially dogs. Net worth. So, how much was Kaylee Hottle worth? Kaylee Hottle's estimated net worth at the time of her death was approximately $500,000 to $1 million. Her income came from her role in Godzilla vs. Kong, additional acting projects, endorsements, and appearances. At 19, she was at the beginning of her career and had a bright financial future ahead of her. Her true legacy is not in her financial wealth, but in the impact she made on the deaf community and the entertainment industry. Her impact on Hollywood. Kaylee Hottle's impact on Hollywood was significant. She was one of the few deaf actors to appear in a major studio film. Her role in Godzilla vs. Kong challenged stereotypes and proved that deaf actors could excel in mainstream cinema. Her success inspired studios to consider deaf actors for roles that were not explicitly written for deaf characters. She also made Hollywood more accessible. She advocated for better accommodations for deaf actors and crew members. Her work has opened doors for future generations of deaf performers. Tributes. The industry reacts. When news of Kaylee Hottle's death broke, tributes poured in from across the entertainment world. Adam Wingard, the director of Godzilla vs. Kong, wrote, "Kaylee was a wonderful person and a talented actress. She brought so much heart to the film. I'm heartbroken by this news." Alexander Skarsgård, her co-star, wrote, "Kaylee was a bright light on set. She was kind, talented, and full of life. She will be deeply missed." Millie Bobby Brown, who also starred in the film, wrote, "Kaylee was a beautiful soul. It was an honor to work with her. My thoughts are with her family." Rebecca Hall wrote, "I was so lucky to work with Kaylee. She was an incredible young woman who had so much to offer the world. I'm devastated." Fans also paid tribute. One wrote, "She showed the world that deaf actors deserve a place in Hollywood. She will be missed." Another said, "Rest in peace, Kaylee. You were a true inspiration." The deaf community mourns. The deaf community has been deeply affected by Kaylee Hottle's passing. She was a role model for young deaf children around the world. She showed them that their dreams were valid and achievable. A member of the deaf community wrote, "Kaylee was a trailblazer. She made us proud. She showed the world that deaf actors can be stars." Organizations supporting deaf rights and representation have also paid tribute to her. Her passing is a reminder of the importance of representation and the impact that one person can have on a community. Kaylee Hottle may be gone, but her legacy will live on in the hearts of the deaf community. Behind-the-scenes stories. Behind the scenes of Godzilla vs. Kong, Kaylee Hottle was known for her warmth and positivity. Her co-stars described her as a joy to work with. They said she brought a sense of calm and professionalism to the set, despite being a newcomer. She was also known for her sense of humor. She often joked with the crew between takes, and her laughter was contagious. She formed strong bonds with the cast and crew, who have spoken about how much they miss her. Kaylee was more than just a talented actress. She was a wonderful person who touched everyone she met. Her dream and legacy. Kaylee Hottle's dream was to inspire others. She wanted to show young deaf children that they could achieve anything. She wanted to prove that representation matters. She once said, "I want other deaf kids to see me and know that they can do this too. They can be actors. They can be anything they want to be." And she did exactly that. Her legacy will live on in the hearts of those she inspired. She changed the landscape of Hollywood for the better. She was a trailblazer. She was a role model. She was a star. Legacy. A life of representation. Kaylee Hottle died on the 18th of July 2026. She was 19 years old. Her cause of death has not been publicly disclosed, but her legacy is not defined by how she died. She was a young deaf actress who broke barriers in Hollywood. She starred in one of the biggest movies of the year. She was a role model for deaf children around the world. She once said, "I want other deaf kids to see me and know that they can do this too." She did exactly that. Kaylee Hottle may have left this world at just 19, but her legacy will live on in the lives she touched and the doors she opened. Rest in peace, Kaylee. If this tribute touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.